All right, here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another installment of the Smokey Room. Great to have you here, and I'm sure you're glad to be here. You're probably saying, it's really great to be there. Anyway, I don't know how many of you are paying attention to world events, but right now the world seems to be on fire. The interesting thing is, it seems to be the same reason. In a few videos prior to this, 3, 4, whatever it was, I had said something that, a phrase we used to use back in the 60s, that this is going to be a long, hot summer. And yes, it is a hot summer. I mean, it's, especially in New Jersey, it's ridiculous. It's a steam bath out there. Can't even go out on my porch and enjoy myself. It's like a blanket of wetness that just slaps you in the face. But places like England, places like Ireland, in Bangladesh, they're fighting over, I think they want to change their government to something. I haven't been interested in that one, but they're just going completely bat crap crazy. I mean, people are dying. I'm dying all over the place. The interesting thing, though, is England and Ireland. They are... The English guys and the Irish guys are fighting the Muslims. You see, they have administrations that are more Muslim friendly than they are their own people friendly. Which is similar to what we have happening here. We have people coming into our country that just flat out don't belong here, and they want to give them our Social Security while our combat veterans that have problems are sleeping on filthy sidewalks. In the meantime, those that came here that broke the law, well, we're going to put you up in a luxury hotel in New York, or Nueva York. For some reason, my wife hates it when I say that. Which, really bothers me, and many other people too. But not to the extent that the British guys and the Irish guys are bothered. I mean, these guys are like, flat out. But they're throwing bricks and large stones at the cops. It's interesting to watch. I mean, it's becoming very violent. You see, in England, not all that long ago, I believe a week or two ago, 3 little girls, white girls, were stabbed to death by illegal aliens. Now, these illegal aliens happen to be Muslim. And they have very, very, very large Muslim populations in England and Ireland. So much so that there really isn't that much of an England or an Ireland left. And the people that live there, the citizens, they're beginning to say, hey, wait a minute. I'm beginning to not feel that much like an English or Irish guy anymore. I'm got this wild compulsion to wrap a towel around my head and worship Allah. But That's what's happening. And those that are in power are more on the side of the Muslims than they are of the citizens, the actual British citizens. The British citizens have had it. They just, like my sergeant used to say, seek up and fed to here. I wish you could have said that. Was so damn funny. But, so we used to get him hacked off deliberately just so he would say that. But, why did I say that? So, yeah, they are taking to the streets by the hundreds of thousands. And, I mean, as one reporter said, that it looks like it's turning into a civil war. I mean, they have some serious civil unrest happening. Now, on the other side of the tracks, you got the Palestinians and the Muslims. They're like using machetes and knives. Now, there is a very obvious double standard when it comes to the law. It seems like they want to crack down on the Caucasians rather than those that are doing the stabbing. Just, go wherever, YouTube it, Google it, whatever it is you're going to do. You'll come to the same conclusion I have. And it's like I said, it's interesting how this is all taking place at one time, and that it's the same spark that started the fire. It's this global illegal immigration that seems to have been planned. Why would that happen, Smokey Room guy? Well, I'm glad you asked. Let me tell you. The globalists, of course, have an agenda, and that agenda is, let's see if we can guess, globalism. But what does that mean exactly? What does it mean? Well, I've got many books here that I could point to, and those that are pro and those that are con, and they all say the same thing. It's no secret. I mean, for crying out loud, they have had a... Where is it at? I said dun-dun-dun-dun-dun for nothing, right? And I guess you guys are getting like all excited. Oh man, he's going to show us something really neat. Well, anyway, here it is. That's not it either. Well, anyway, they had they had a global governance conference, and I think I showed it to you once before. Anyway, how about that? You see, it's just like the last video. I am so good at screwing these kinds of things up. But anyway, it's no secret. I mean, they want to have a world government because, look, I'm not going to, the idea is good. No war, and having no war is a good thing. But not at the price of our liberty, you see. I mean, we have a government here. Now, I'm not, those of you in Ireland and England, you got your own thing going on, and I don't know much about how things work there. But here, I am not willing to give up my individual sovereignty, okay, to allow others to have a better life. Now, maybe that sounds greedy. Okay, but you see, I owe no allegiance to anybody in another country. I just don't. I want my tax dollars to be used fairly, first of all, and to be used here in the United States. I don't like the idea of my tax dollars being used to enhance the life of somebody that just waltzes in to the United States and breaks the law, and immediately is given benefits of our labor. What kind of sense does that make? And that's the whole thing with the world's government. It's like socialism, or communism. Each according to his ability, each according to his need. Okay, and nobody really seems to have the ability to excel in that sort of a government system. And that's exactly what a world government would be. You see, because like if you've heard Joe Biden mention it, this nitwit Kamala Harris mention it, that we have to level the playing field in the world. So we're going to bring the standard of living in certain African countries up to, we're going to take from those, which will be us, okay, to level it out. So our quality of life has to go down a bit till we meet up with those in in Bangladesh or wherever, and the skills sooner or later balance. Ta-da! World's government. Yeah, there may not be any war any longer because nobody will have the money to to wage war. Except the globalists still would be very wealthy. There still will be a bureaucracy. And can you imagine that one? Whoa! Yeah. Try and get a question answered in a global government. Just imagine that one, right? So this is where we're at. And it's very worrisome because it seems like it's coming to a head. And it seems like it's coming to a head right around when I said it would, because something's going to pop here sooner or later. And they're going to come up with something to delay or stop the election. And then perhaps the American guys are going to join the Irish guys and the British guys in getting very pissed off. Which I could see happening. But when it happens in this country, the difference is we are armed to the teeth. So that's my fear, is that if it gets to that point in the United States, you see where I'm going with that? It can get really out of hand really quick. And I think that's what they're pushing. For instance, now in New York, they're using very, very similar laws that they have been using in San Francisco. People can, steal up to $1,000 worth of goods from a store and only be charged with a misdemeanor. What about that, huh? Boy, isn't that a good incentive to open up a business in that area, huh? Right. And then people are going to start bitching and moaning that nobody wants to open up a business in that area. Oh, yeah, and let's defund the police in the meantime. Do you see what they're doing? And I am saying they, because look, government officials cannot be this ignorant. Really. I mean, we know there's stupid people in government, but you can't be that ignorant. This has got to be planned. Like I was saying 15, 20 years ago. That it's not that we can't secure our border. It's that we don't want to. How can you think, okay, the country that beat the living crap out of the Nazis and the Japanese can't support or defend their own border. Give me a break. And that's with throwing Vietnam and Korea and all the other places in there. If we want to defend our border, we certainly can. We have the ability to do that. We got the manpower, the machinery, and the technology to do that. It's very obvious, ladies and gentlemen, that we do not want to. Oh, I wonder why that is. Well, one of the excuses is that they're hoping that these people are going to vote Democrat. The other is, let's connect the dots. How many times has Joe Biden said he's a globalist? You can look that up. He admitted it in those words. He is a globalist. He's been a member of the Council on Foreign Relations for decades. Okay, that's it. Yeah. And we've had other presidents. The Bushes were globalists. That's a big secret. The Clintons are globalists. The only guy that wasn't got his brains blown out in Texas. Do you remember his name? Is John F. something or other. He was killed by that guy in the book suppository. Almost like what happened there to Donald Trump. Yeah, I'm wearing his hat and I'm, you know. Very similar event. I almost threw up that day while I was watching. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. As soon as he put his hand to his head, I thought, oh my God, here we go. I was starting to panic. I had to take a Valium. I was getting a panic attack from that. So, that's what I'm waiting to see, ladies and gentlemen, and I hope you're keeping tabs of this and you have an understanding of exactly what is happening. None of this is by accident. Now, one of the reasons I decided to do this video today, well, is because of what's happening around the world, and we're waiting to see. Here's another very interesting thing. I don't know if any of you is following what's happening in the Middle East. Let me see. Today's Monday. I don't know if it was since Thursday night of last week or Friday. You know, there's been these YouTube channels that, imminent attack gonna happen here in 48 hours. Imminent attack gonna happen here in 72 hours. Imminent attack expected. One of them said 9 p.m. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, wait a minute. I mean, like, is Iran gonna call somebody and tell them when they're gonna attack? What is going on? It just seems staged to me. And I'm thinking, if I was Iran, with the other countries helping you out, unless, and I've thought of this, unless Israel made noises, yeah, you shoot missiles our way, you're going to have a bright sunny day tomorrow and the temperature is going to be about 3,000 degrees. Could that happen? Would Israel launch a nuclear attack on Iran? And then would Russia launch a nuclear attack on Israel? And then would the United States launch a nuclear attack on Russia? This is where I am very concerned about this whole thing, but there's something very suspicious going on with this whole thing of everybody waiting to see and, alluding to a time when it's going to happen. How would they know? How would they even know? I mean, it's strange. Getting off that subject now, something else I was talking to a friend about today, which we know for a fact, okay, that no matter what, Kamala Harris cannot be our president. A lot of people may be sitting out there feeling extremely comfortable that there's no way in living hell she could be president, right? How many people said that about Joe Biden? Can I see a raise of hands? I sure as hell did. I said there's no way. Who would vote for this Mama Luke? Who? Who would vote for Carmella? It's that doesn't, forget that. Just forget about that. You don't think the heads of the DNC are saying, hey, yo, don't even worry. Look, we got away with it in 2020. Nobody got in trouble. So, on the 5th, I intend to get to my polling place fairly early, I guess, with a box of donuts, maybe 2 boxes of donuts. And I'm going to be the nicest guy, and I'm just going to I'm going to make friends and hang around in there and just keep my eye out. If I see anybody that looks like they're not a member of my community, I'm going to approach them. Ask them if they even speak English. And if not, what the hell are you doing here? And I urge many other people, any folks that watch this, there aren't many of yous watching this yet. Now, boy, I sure don't know why. Look, I know it's not the best show on whatever this is, but I think I'm somewhat entertaining, for God's sakes, don't you? I mean, look, I could do this. I don't know. How many of you can do that? Can many of you do that? Huh? See? I could do that. Can you do that? You want to see me take my thumb off? So, you guys could do that. Just watch. Because we have, really, it's got to be too big to rig. This has to be the landslide of landslides. And listen, and that's only going to give us a 4-year cushion. But that gives us another 4 years of freedom. It gives us 4 years to stock up on ammo and weapons, if we have to. And I think we're going to have to. Alright? So, that's about it. Okay, ladies and gentlemen. There we go. Thank you for joining me in the Smoky Room. It's been fun, and I hope you come back again. Alrighty. Bye-bye, and see you on the flip, as Russell would say.